Hi, my name is Kristen Zook, and this is my video for Module 5, Understanding My Community, and I work at the Shawnee Mission School District. Shawnee Mission School District is located in northeast Johnson County in Kansas, and it is actually made up of 14 different cities. It is the third largest district in the state with about 28,000 students. There are 33 elementary schools, 5 middle schools, and 5 high schools. And I have worked at 3 of the different high schools at different times. And then the past few years, I've actually worked at all 5 high schools in my job as an instructional coach. In our district, the district's really proud of consistently ranking locally and nationally for student achievement. The family and community involvement is really high. They like to know what's going on. They keep up with all of the different the changes and how our kids are doing. There's a lot of support for everything that we do, but you can see it really at the different sporting events, the plays and musicals, concerts, art showings. Every spring we have the R&D forum, and a lot of kids are there. The parents bring their students up we have an interactive time, and they enter a lot of different experiments, different science projects, different things like that. There's a lot of attendance at the board meetings. And we also have lots and lots of community volunteers that help in different areas. At the high schools, which is what I'm going to focus on since that's my experience, there's a lot of different things that go on every year. Things like back to school night, and each high school does it differently and has their different traditions. Parent-teacher conferences, there's homecoming, there's always a parade, which is what the picture is on there of one of the schools. Football game, dance, along with the other dances like WPA, Sweetheart Dance, prom. Then we have things like the college and career fairs, the multicultural fairs, different kinds of assemblies, not just PEP assemblies, but different kinds of educational ones that people are welcome to come to. The population characteristics for the area, I'm focusing more on just kind of Johnson County in general because there's so many cities that make up our school district. 96.3% of the population have high school graduation or higher. 55.4% have bachelor's degree or higher. As far as different ethnicities, in our district, we are 64.2% white, 9.2% African American, 18.2% Hispanic, and then 8.4% other. And you can see that Johnson County in general is a little bit different if you're looking at the entire county. In our district, 90% of the children's homes are English speaking only, and then 6% are Spanish speaking. And if we look at the different age range for our area, 62% of the population is 18 to 64 years of age. And the median age range is 37.4, which is actually a little bit higher, I believe, than the state. As far as communication goes, we live in a really large suburban area, so there's several different local TV stations, and I just listed a few of them there. One thing that's kind of neat is KCMO has the local high school sporting events. They've partnered with Hy-Vee, and so you can vote on what you want that TV or what event you want to be on TV for the Friday night game. We have an abundance of different radio stations. And we have a couple local newspapers that are really the big ones. The Kansas City Star is really big, and then the Shawnee Mission Post, which actually used to be the Prairie Village Post, but now covers all of the cities that were within the Shawnee Mission boundaries. And they are heavily followed, especially just for people who want to know what's going on with the district. As far as the high school communication goes, and the district as well, we have the website, both the school district, which I have pictured on there, and then from there we have every school has their own website that they keep current with. Email is probably the best form of communication. That's how most schools send home their newsletters, any kind of updates, reports, things that parents would need to know. There's also the automated phone messages that go out, letting you know just things that are going on for the week or school closures, things like that. Twitter is really, really big right now. Both the districts, the schools, individual teachers tweet quite frequently just to let people see what's going on in their classrooms, what kinds of things are going on in the schools. There are some Facebook groups, and then also for teachers in particular, since we are a Google Apps for Education district, teachers often have Google Classrooms, which is another way for them to communicate with their teachers, with their students, and their parents. As far as our community, again, I kind of looked more at Johnson County because we have so many cities. There are over 32 boards and commissions. There's multiple chambers of commerce. I just put a couple of the larger ones there. There are multiple community centers, which are our students go to a lot. I put some of the bigger ones there that are in Overland Park, Matt Ross, the Jewish Community Center, and Tomahawk. Another organization that's really big within our community is the Shawnee Mission Area Council PTA, which we call SMAC, and they do a lot of great things in our community. And they also, some of the bigger things, they have the food pantry and the clothing center. They go to all the board meetings and they tweet and let people know what's going on at those. They also promote a lot of community and district interactions and some talks with the superintendents and things like that. We also have the Shawnee Mission Education Foundation, which funds a lot of the grant programs for our schools, which provides access for a lot of our kids to get things that they wouldn't otherwise. And then we have the PTSAs, the site councils, booster clubs, just a few of them. We also have a lot of business and community partners that are really big in providing financial support, equipment, tutoring, and mentoring to our students. They also provide internships and job shadows, field trips, and guest speakers, especially for things like our CTE and our signature programs. Students who want to get into those pathways have a lot of opportunities within our community. And then we also have some leadership and career opportunities, and there's some listed below. As far as leadership within our county, same as other counties, we have our Board of County Commissioners, County Manager, and so on. And then for cities, I just chose Overland Park as an example city. It is our largest. We have the mayor, 12 council members, the city manager, and then several boards and commissions. Looking at just our district, we have the Board of Education, which has 7 board members. There is 1 from each of the 5 areas and then 2 at-large members. And then at the district level, we have the superintendent, the deputy superintendent, 5 assistant superintendents, 3 executive directors, and our chief academic officer, which are all our highest levels of leadership. And then at the high school level, we have 1 principal, 3 assistant principals, and then 1 athletic director, which also serves as an assistant principal. Our characteristics of our community leaders, if looking at our school board members, they are very visible at school and community events. They do go to a lot of things. They show a lot of support. Recently, the community has challenged our board members in regards to some decisions that have been made and what they feel is best for students. And there are some changes coming. Some of our board members who've been on our board for years will not be returning. And there are some votes coming up soon, so I feel that the community is going to show how they feel about that. And as far as our legislators, our state representatives, are very visible at things like our community picnics, parades, etc. And I do feel like the school community gets involved with our legislators, knowing how they want to support schools. School issues are really important. As far as the economic conditions in our area, looking at Johnson County as a whole, there's a large variety in occupations. Um, Unemployment rate's 3.3%, so it's pretty low. Median household income in Johnson County is 82,000. Property values are rising. The median home value for the whole county is 210,000. Average sales tax is 8.944. And there was not a wide range. There was a range when looking at all 14 cities, since it is by city, but that was the average. For property tax, I just looked at Overland Park. As far as political structure, you really can't separate politics from education. Because of the amount of money that is spent and because of how much is determined by votes. So when we look at things like our funding or the financial aspect of education, we have our base state aid per pupil, we have our local option budgets and property tax, along with other things. The constituents vote in our legislators, so it's important that we look at our legislators and find those who support school funding and quality educational programs and services for our students. When looking at social tensions, there's some different things to look at as far as racial diversities in our district, especially looking at high schools with the 5 high schools. Some are obviously more diverse than others. In Johnson County as a whole, it's 81% white. And if you're looking at our district, it's actually 64.2% white. So there's a little more diversity within the Shawnee Mission School District. And although I'm sure there's some, I have not experienced a lot of racial tensions, discriminations, or issues. But we have seen a little bit more of is the economic rivalry, because students do tend to separate themselves based on SES. And some schools, there's a great divide between students with low SES and students that are much, much wealthier. And then we have other schools where there's very little diversity when it comes to SES. Extra sources of information. Every year, the district and the schools send out several questionnaires to students, to parents, to teachers, staff members. And this is used to identify areas of need and to make changes and also see what's going well. Other types of information, the school board meetings you can watch those, you can go to those, you can also watch them online. Minutes are always available. We have a TV channel, the SMSD TV schedule, which I've put on there for you to see. But there's about any piece of information that you would want to get available. As far as multicultural issues, some of our schools have changing populations. Some schools have been more diverse for a longer time and have done a really nice job incorporating just culture in general into the school. And some schools are changing a little bit more, and so there's more discussion about how to incorporate that and knowing the needs of the students, doing more to maybe educate the community and the students and to celebrate cultural differences and provide support where needed. As far as measuring public opinion, there are public opinion surveys, local media surveys that go out to our communities, and also the communication through the local media or directly to the school and the district. I feel like our community is not shy in letting people know how they feel about about the school district, how they feel about what's going on. And it really does help to know that